the guys handled this week now that you're through a week of practice?
It was a much better week than we've had. I think the focus, obviously the disappointment, the shared disappointment that we had, as a staff, as a team. So we have a choice how we're going to deal with this opportunity, and that's all it is. We're lucky to have this game. There's a lot of people that don't have the opportunities that we have, and we need to take advantage of them. We didn't do that. We all know it. It comes down to me, and I took the blame for it, and I still do. Now we can go do it again. And I'm excited to see him go back out there, and that's all I'm looking forward to is playing another game.
Is it attention to detail,
it is.
Intensity that you've seen more of this week? Is there something in particular?
The thing is, we've had intensity. That's not the issue. It's execution, and execution comes down to what you said. Your attention to detail, the little things. You can't get away with things in this game. You're playing against teams all over the country that have good players on their team. You can't do that. I can't do that. Players can't do that. Assistant coaches can't do that. Everything we do has to be down to the finest detail, and every opportunity we get in a game, we got to capitalize on it. In game one, we got away with things, won the game. We could all talk about it, and the guys didn't understand that, hey, that play could hurt us, and it did. And now it's a great learning opportunity, and that's what we're using it as. Moving forward, 1-0 mentality. Let's go put our best product that we can on the field this week, and then we'll worry about next week.
The theme from the defensive side seemed to be finish and getting off the field on third or fourth downs.
Yeah, I think, anytime you can get the ball back for an offense that's scoring points, it's critical. And there were times we did that and times we didn't. And, fourth down hurt us, no doubt about it. Penalties on third down. There was 2 that extended drives. So those are the kind of things. And some of it's missed tackling. We've had them in the backfield a couple times and didn't finish. And got to be big this week. Washington's a good athletic quarterback for ODU. He can run around. Lowry's a really good tailback. So we've got to tackle and get a lot of people to the ball.
Do you sense Ryan getting a little bit more comfortable as far as a year after time off, though, as far as
Ryan Finley?
Yeah. Just with the game experience, getting back in the flow of things.
Well, he's poised now. He's got incredible comfort playing the game. He's very confident. I think he really takes things that he does wrong, and he doesn't panic about them. He's very, okay, I did that. All right, why did I do that? Okay, I'm not going to do that again. He doesn't repeat errors, which is one thing that a lot of kids do, and he doesn't. He's not a kid. Obviously, he's a college graduate. So, the more he plays with his teammates, I think, is the deal. The chemistry of being around the same guys all the time.
I think since the spring, you were waiting for Lewis to have those breakout plays, and he finally did it. But he also kind of needs a little help. If you can get 2-3 receivers that are all clicking at the same time, how much would that take the offense to a different level?
Yeah, and I think, getting him the ball as many times as we can when he's hot like that, too, will help him. But we have other guys that we're throwing the football to. I still think Braylon can do a lot of things after the catch. I think Naheem can when he's healthy, and he was battling an ankle throughout that game. Obviously, J. Sam can, and he had some uncharacteristic drops for him, which I know he'll rebound from. But it's not a matter of is there anyone else we can throw it to. I think we have those guys. It's just getting the ball to them and letting them do something with it.
How are you guys health-wise this week?
Naheem's banged up a little bit, sore ankle. Other than that, kind of just little things that you would expect, but not things that are keeping people out. Darius Bryant is probably the one, guy that'll be a game day decision, I guess you'd say, because he's a little banged up. But Naheem was out there today. I'm not sure how he'll feel on game day, but he was running around, and he wasn't yesterday, so that's positive.
Coach Wilder he seemed to be brutally honest after last year's game. He seems to throw things out there.
I don't remember what he said.
Well, one thing he mentioned is that he thought that his team looked like a JV squad compared to what happened, and I think it was like a 77-49 play differential.
Yeah.
Like you guys had the ball like 79 plays or 77 plays. But he thought that this year or in the future that they would be able to physically compete with you guys. Do you notice any changes in that regard?
Well, their defensive line is much better. They were young. All those guys are back. So they've had a year in the weight room like our D-line has. I think their middle linebacker's a much better player than they had there last year. I think he's producing for them right now. But the biggest thing you see, they're 6'6", 310 at 1D tackle. They're pretty big inside, and they've got a good rotation at end where they've got 3 long guys. So they didn't have that last year. We were able to move them around up front. But last year's last year, and I don't really pay attention to how stuff ended when it was 12 months ago.
Do you think Coach Ledford's old guys at App State helped give you guys a little bit of a blueprint last week?
Well, there's a lot of similarities, in some of the run schemes. Obviously they got to go against that scheme, and then they get to go against it again, so it probably helps both teams, you know what I mean? But absolutely, Dwayne knows how good those players are at App and how they handled. In the second half, now ODU played really good defense. They didn't give up hardly anything. I don't think they didn't give up a third down conversion in the second half on defense. So we know that we got to play well, and we got to be on our targets and communicate the different things that happen with their pressures and their line stunts, and be able to handle their movements.
Did you have much of a reaction about all the NCAA, ACC stuff this week, events getting pulled out?
Honestly, I've been focused on what I can focus on over here right now. My head's been in the sand. I can honestly tell you I haven't read or looked at anything other than what my team is doing, and that's where my head's going to stay for the time being.